Hey, it's Bob Harris here from Fingerpicking for Beginners. This is lesson number 9. We're going to learn how to change from an E minor to a G chord in this lesson. So grab your guitar, we're going to learn it right now. Here we go. In our last lesson, we were changing from the A5 chord to the E minor chord. And that was lesson number 8, Fingerpicking for Beginners. In this lesson, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be changing from the E minor to the G chord, okay? Not as easy as changing from A5 to E minor, because if you recall, we had a little bit of time there by hitting a bass note. We had a millisecond or two to be able to go ahead and change the chords, okay? But in this particular instance, what happens is when we're hitting that G chord, okay, we're playing the G chord, we have to put our finger 3 frets up, okay, on the G chord, if you recall the G chord. If you want to review that, it's in lesson 4 of Fingerpicking for Beginners. In this G chord, this is our bass note, okay? So we don't have an open note where we can wait a little bit. We have to be right on time with that, okay? Now, I'll explain this a little better, but let's understand this. That the E minor picking pattern for these two chords is the same. The picking pattern, the E minor and the G are the same. That's what I meant to say. Okay? If you're having problems remembering that, just go to lessons 3 and 4. Okay? So the picking pattern on the right hand's the same. Now we want to just, when we're playing this, we want to keep going, and I'm just going to take my hand off here. And the reason I'm doing this is the kind of timing that we want. We want steady timing. We don't want to be faulty with our timing. We want to be. Sound like this: E minor, G, E minor, G. So in other words, this right hand is the motor and it doesn't stop, it stays in time. But the challenge is, if you look at my left hand here, the challenge is getting that finger on time when you hit that when you're going through this pattern, to get your finger there on time. That's the challenge. So I'm going to just show you really slow, and then we're going to break this down. So this has got to be played, you got to be there just before you hit that note. Or exactly at the same time. Preferably just a little bit before. We're talking split seconds, milliseconds. Okay? Not a big couple of milliseconds like we had with changing this. This has to be right there, because otherwise it will sound like this. This is wrong, okay? We want it to sound. Okay, so let me just show you a couple of tricks to get there on time. Now, even though we're playing this note, this note right here on the E minor, go to strum it. In the finger picking pattern on the right hand, we're not playing that note, okay? But we need to know this chord for future music. And just because I'm showing you this finger pattern doesn't mean that we're never ever going to play this note in it, because you could do this too. Let me just show you. are variations, so you want to be able to know that chord, okay? But for right now, okay, we're just going to leave this finger down here, okay? Now if you notice on the E minor chord, I can't possibly get this right up to where it's supposed to be, you know, because it's supposed to be just below the fret. That's where it's going to sound the best. Not on the fret and not way below. It should be right below the fret. But when you go to put your finger here for this other note, okay, on E minor, right below the fret, this finger just can't physically get there like that. I couldn't possibly do it. I don't think anybody can. So this note is down here, okay? But when you go to change for the G chord, okay, when you go to make this change, you want to leave this finger down. You don't want to move this to go to do the G chord. Leave this finger here. But what's going to happen is when you go to stretch with your ring finger to the G note, 3 frets up on the 6th string, this finger is going to automatically move like this to be able to reach that. Okay? So watch what happens here. Here's E minor, and look at how we have to kind of move it a little bit, okay? But we're not lifting it up, we're just moving it, okay? We're just E minor, and then we're just moving it to the G, okay? So we have to make room when we're doing the E minor, so that will go back down again, and then G. See what's happening? So let's just practice this. We're just going to strum on the right hand, and we're just going to practice this. We're going to go E minor. I hope you have your guitar. Okay, you see my hands, this finger moving, but it's not lifting up. In other words, I'm keeping it down. E minor. If you're late with this, that's bad. You don't want to be late. You want to be on time. When you go to either strum the chord or when we're going to be doing the finger picking, you want to be, this has got to be on time, okay? You can't wait a little bit. You've got to be right there. So try that. Don't lift this finger up. Just move it when you have to. Now, if you've got small hands or you're younger, it's harder if your hands are not bigger. You know, some of my younger students and everything, they have a lot of trouble with this G chord. Okay, G chords and C chords, and even F chords. Okay, and we're going to cover all of that stuff. But for right now, what you want to do is just stretch that hand out as far as you can. You know, stretch these 2 fingers. It might hurt your hand a little bit. It's important to keep your finger down, your thumb in the right place, because that'll help clear. Hold on, I'm not showing. You don't want any of your strings buzzing down here. You know, you don't want your hand in this position. You want it up, okay? You want to be playing on the tips of your fingers, okay? See my finger move a little bit? All I'm doing is moving my fingers to get to this. I'm not lifting off with this finger. I'm keeping it on. So let's play that a little bit. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go real slow with the E minor, and this is going to be the hard part, is concentrating on this and keeping steady timing with this, and then changing these chords, okay? So I'm going to go as slow as I can. Now, keep working on just changing these chords. You know, you want to be able to change quickly, you know? But when you're comfortable with changing, you can start this video again, or play this video again right from this point. and it's about, I don't know, 10 minutes into it. This is kind of a long video. Let's just work on the finger pattern. E minor, and this is the same down here again. G. Hey, I'd like to thank you so much for tuning in to Fingerpicking for Beginners. Now, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel, and what that will do is when we have a new video that comes out, that'll let you know when the free video comes out, okay? And then if you could, please like the video below, and that's always very helpful to let me know that I'm doing a good job of teaching. And if you're having any problems or you have any comments or suggestions, just go to the comment area below and post your comments. I always reply as soon as I see them. So any problems, I'm here to help, and I want to have you definitely learn how to play the guitar. So what we're going to be doing is we're learning all the basics right now that's going to propel us to start learning songs, okay? And you're going to be amazed at all the different songs we can learn with this one finger pattern. So very excited about that. So I hope you've been practicing, and we will see you in the next video. And thank you so much for being a part of this.